Through the days of passing years I walk alone with all my thoughts, softly suffocating as the numbers climb. I imagine better days, taking solace in the hope of gently conquering the vastness of the oceans where I float. Among the endless waters crashing, suddenly appears a boat. To my surprise, a cry for help emerges from my throat, and I say, hey, I hope your boat is not destroying all our friends who love to swim below. And they say, hey, it's just a simple rowboat made for all who simply need a place to go. So I say, hey, I wish you would take me to a destination.
Hey everyone, let's fix up this vintage gooned bunny. For starters, I'm going to let her outfit soak for a bit. Let's cut her open and empty out all of her old stuffing. It's a lot. Skinny legend. Letting her soak. Then it's time to restuff, restitch. And now we're going to move on to her overalls using new felt, then brush. And then we're going to touch up some of her face paint, just a little. And there she is. What do you guys think?
Let's fix up this rubber-faced bunny.
I took the Polaroid down in my room. I'm pretty sure you have a new girlfriend. It's not as if I don't like you. It just makes me sad whenever I see it.
Restoring my childhood plushie. Gross. All clean.
Let's fix up this Susie.
No one ever saw me cry until I left the party the other night. Do you remember all the things that you said to me that came out of his mouth for a night?
fix cloudy doll eyeballs with cardstock and a hairdryer. Doesn't last forever. I did it in 2018 on Martha, and clearly her eyes are cloudy once more, but it works. Got this shitty old hairdryer and a poster from an old Creatable World doll. If you don't know about these, they were pretty cool. Sucks they don't make them anymore. They were nice, though. You roll the cardstock into a cone so that the opening is about the size of the doll's eye.
Not at all unsettling.
And you shoot warm air into the cone with the hairdryer. Here's a before shot. Here's one side done.
All better.
If you're interested in toy restoration, I gotta do this one from the ground up, so... I'm not gonna say follow for more, but you know where I'll be if you want to see that happen. Watch me restore this doll in under a minute.
Bath time for baby. Eyeball time.
If you do the cardstock and hairdryer trick to fix doll eyeballs, do it in short bursts, otherwise the heat could be dangerous.
Setting her bangs, then we gotta find her an outfit.
Just a reminder what we started with. Not bad for 15 seconds.
When I opened up this bag, I knew this was going to be an amazing restoration. This is Magic, and Magic suffers from floppy neck syndrome and has some of the weariest eyes I've ever seen. But that just tells me that Magic did his job in protecting his best friend Chloe every single night since the day she was born. Let's just say that Magic needed some magic, and that's where I came in. I needed to get him back into tip-top shape for his best friend. I, of course, had to use some magic potions along the way, like my OxyClean, to lift all of that dirt and grime from his poor little body. I massaged it into his delicate fur and waited just the proper amount of time before he was ready for a very important bath. I used my other special potions, Tide, Fel's Naphtha, Borax, and washing soda, and set him inside the warm tub. Watching all of those years of dirt wash away was quite satisfying. And now that he was all clean, it was time for me to get rid of all of that excess water. After I pressed out all of the water, it was time for me to allow him to air dry. And then it was time to piece him all back together to make sure he was perfect for Chloe. Chloe requested that I did not give him new eyes and that I left his neck just a little floppy, so I made sure I used royal plush stuffing to make sure that he was extra cuddly for bedtime. I couldn't believe how sweet Magic looked all fluffed up again. And now it was very important to give him his memories back, and I made sure I took them straight from his heart, because we all know that's where the most important part of us is anyway. After he was mended, it was time for me to look him over completely and make sure he was just right. And then it was time for me to brush this sweet little guy. His fur was quite matted, so it took me a lot of time and a lot of patience. But I knew he could be fluffed up again. After the brushing was complete, I added a few little details, and Magic was ready to go home and be protector of the night once more. Thank you, Chloe, for trusting me with your best friend. I know he'll continue to give you joy. Love you guys. Make sure you come back for part 2.
So earlier today I was trying to get to my friend's house on time for something. I saw this lump on the side of the road. Clearly no one wanted him, and I passed him up, but we went back for him later in the day. And after we picked up this super gross falling apart boy, I nearly got into a car accident, so that's a good sign, so we're gonna restore him for fun. Okay, our newly found son has been gutted. Here are the remnants of his guts. It was all like packing peanuts and, you know, shit like that. A little bit of polyfill, but mostly packing peanuts. And yeah, that's how much was in it. That ain't good, but we're gonna give him better filling. He'll be nice and full. Okay, it's now like the next day, but we're just gonna keep working with this boy. We threw him in a KFC bag just because I didn't want him flying around loose in my car, just this, you know, skin pile. And he's very dirty, and I had to do this at home because I have a bigger sink. My plan is, for now, like, just to soak him in the sink a few times before, like, maybe sending him through the wash. I'm kind of worried he might fall apart even more if I try putting him through the wash, even, like, in a pillowcase and on delicate, because, like, he's not made out of fur. He's made out of, like, that cheap fabric they use for boardwalk and carnival prizes, so, yeah, I'm worried he's gonna fall apart. Also, our plan for all these holes is try to sew up as many as possible, like by hand stitching, and everything left over, we're just going to do some big old cute patches. He's going to be like a patchwork Pikachu. It's going to be really cute when we're done. Okay, so first soak, and I know you're not supposed to use hot water when you wash fur and plushies and all that stuff, but he's not made out of fur, he's made out of like cheap, shitty fabric, and also he gross, he nasty. He'll survive being in hot water like 1 or 2 times, and if the paint comes off, whatever, I'll just give him some new stripes and all that jazz. Also, just as another note, when I was driving home last night with the skins of this giant Pikachu, I almost got into another car accident. I know people in New Jersey can't drive for shit, but are you cursed? Is that the reason why you're on the curb? Like, because you're actually a horrible cursed, spirit inside of a Pikachu instead of like a Victorian doll? If that's the case, you're welcome to stay. I just want to know.